7, Chapter 15 of The Mandalorian. And we're going to try to make sure that we don't get any background noise and get a YouTube strike again for having the music. But, we want you to hear and be able to sync up. So we're watching the recap now so you can get yourself ready. We're seeing stuff about Miggs Mayfeld, the prisoner episode, which makes sense because I think Rick Famuyiwa is supposed to be directing this episode as well. And of course, Miggs Mayfeld got captured at the end of that episode by the New Republic. We should be. Yep, the Lucasfilm logo is on the screen. Lucasfilm Limited. As a little matter of disclosure for you, I did get to see this episode already, but I got to watch it with my brother, who's also a big Star Wars fan, big Boba Fett fan. So it was really neat to get to watch a Star Wars episode with him. And it looks like we are on a junk planet with lots of TIE fighters and ATSTs, maybe AT-ATs maybe even some X-Wings being broken down. And a droid warden, or maybe just a droid prison guard. And there's Miggs Mayfeld. In my 3, 4, 6, 6, 7. I liked this episode. I really did. And I'll tell you what, I did not like Bill Burr's character the last time I saw him. I really think he did a great job on this episode. I really do. It's pretty neat to see a different prison colony from the one we saw in Solo. Get to see some aliens, and I haven't done any research yet, so I have no idea of all the tie-ins and the new stuff that might be in this episode. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do that. I really did like the completely new paint job on Boba Fett's armor. I think that's fantastic. I'll be honest with you. I think giving him a new paint job, some people might be mad that it's not his old armor, but it was beat up, and I think it looks really cool repainted. And Gina Carano has really only one or two moods: angry and really angry. It's like her only moods. I guess we're getting the band back together. I mean, I told my brother earlier today, I can't believe he would even consider for 1 second. I know he even says, Chapter 15, The Believer, title card. I can't even believe he would consider for a second staying on the prison planet. I think later he says, like, you should have left me behind, or I should have stayed behind. Yeah, right. I mean, there's no hope of getting out of that place. You got a chance to do something here. It looks like prison's actually worked on him too. Like he's a little softer. Or maybe it's because of his circumstances. Maybe he's a little softer because at the other job he was still a criminal and still high on the pecking order, and now he's been done a favor here. I like the little lore stuff we find out too. The Imperial Terminal stuff. Morak, I don't know if that's been in other, Legends material or other stuff that's out now. Boba Fett is just so cool. Slave One, just so cool. Rhydonium. I don't know what that is either. Coaxium, I would have known. It's interesting that this episode right now is featuring a whole bunch of transports that are not going to get to their destination, right? I mean, and I love the paint job on Boba Fett's helmet. Just the little dent is even painted. I just think it's so slick. I do like I do like all the little chatter, and I think Bill Burr does a really good job. I think he does a better job than Gina Carano does, and even Ming Na Wen as Fennec Shan. I think he does a good job. My brother and I were both speculating at this point that he was going to take his helmet off. I don't think I can explain away a guy in a Mando suit to Imperial Guards. So we knew he was going to get in a trooper outfit, but, these juggernauts, pretty cool armored transports. They didn't hear anything drop on top of them. Doesn't she hurt her elbows when she elbows them like that? I like the little details about the stormtroopers' outfit being sweaty. I wonder what kind of troopers these are called. Mine troopers? Mining troopers? Transport trooper? Oh, I think that's what they're called, transport troopers. I like how Mayfeld is teasing Jaren. Another cool toy, the Juggernaut. Just in time for Christmas. I really liked the teasing that he does to try to get him to wear the helmet or take off the helmet. There's a lot to like in this episode. takes his own off, maybe to entice him to take his off. I mean, we hear a little bit of Mandalorian's Alderaan. We hear little tidbits here and there, but I do like the chatter. It's a good plan too, tactically speaking. Except for like, what were they really planning to do when they got in? Like, how long were they going to be in there? And wouldn't their friends, if they had any, know that the transport guys that were belonging to Transport 5, like Red 5, Juggernaut 5, wouldn't they know? Is the base so far from the mine because it's so dangerous? It's interesting that the local populace here is all human, from what I can tell. I mean, what I'm looking at on the screen, it's all humans. But then the pirates that are going to attack are not at all. So, are they truly pirates if they're just trying to explode the Rhydonium, or are they just terrorists? If they're terrorists, are they supporting the local population, or... Yeah, it's not really explained that well. This whole show is starting to get to the point, though, where you have to really start to suspend your disbelief on all these little details, because, I mean, if you dig hard enough, you're going to find huge plot holes, but you're just supposed to sit back and relax and let the plot develop. Mayfeld seemed a lot more chatty and sure of himself the last time. Now he seems much more like... he doesn't seem like a different character. He just seems like he's changed in universe to his plight, to his circumstance. Maintain speed and course. Proceed with caution. She's serious. Thank you for saying what we were all thinking, Bill Burr. I'm sure I'll figure out what these aliens were when I go to do research. Is it possible that we've seen them before, even in The Mandalorian? They're like light blue skinned. They kind of remind me of the Krull from... Is it Krull? Oh, they got like a little red to them too. There's a lot of pirates. Trying to blow the road down. You think? She left me in prison. Again, I just don't think people would think that or say that in this moment. You're already there. But what are these guys? Why don't they just throw thermal detonators at the truck if it's so dangerous? Right? If it's so dangerous that bumps and heat could explode the truck, what are they doing? Why aren't they just throwing 5 thermal detonators at the tires? They're clearly not trying to, trying to save the ride or to steal the ride. Don't even if they're trying to explode it. I loved all the fight scenes on the top of the truck. And my brother did as well. We liked his fighting tactics on the top of the Juggernaut. Mandalorian, I'm speaking of. If you're watching along, you know what I'm talking about. I don't think fast are such a good idea. I'm sure other people will translate that warning message, but I will as well. It seems like a pretty short one to translate. It's probably just says danger. Oh, man, that fall was a really good one. The one where he falls on his neck. Great stunt work. These pirates. Oof, I like that I understand why he blows back, but then I don't get why the fireball just. Unless they actually got hit by remnants of the little pirate, the jetty. See, now all these pirates come in thermal detonators ready, and like I don't know why they just didn't do that. If there's so many of them, why didn't they just do that to begin with? I mean, 3 or 4 thermal detonators. The X-wings come, or the not X-wings. See, I call them X-wings. TIE fighters coming in, blowing them up. What a development that we're cheering for TIE fighters against, against the pirates there, and then we're cheering for the stormtroopers coming in. They all had active thermal detonators. Yeah, they may drop them, but weren't they active with their hands? Anyway, I don't know why Bill Burr's character wouldn't be putting on his helmet again. They pull in halfway. I guess that. I mean, earlier I could have sworn they went all the. I mean, the scene just before it looked like they went all the way in, and now we're supposed to believe that these are the trucks that are parked halfway out, or maybe there's trucks still coming. I don't know. My brother and I both noticed that the closed captioning must have a lot of stage direction and lines that are spoken but not audible, because I didn't hear "Glory to the Empire" at all, but that was one of the lines that popped up on the screen in closed captioning. Shore Troopers, I think those were the ones that we saw on Scarif. And Stormtroopers. Valen Hess, I wonder if he's in other extended universe stuff, or if he was even just mentioned at one point, would be enough to be interesting. Clearly, he had something to do with Operation Cinder, which I think is from the video game Battlefront 2. Maybe. I mean, I'll do the research, obviously. But this is the point where we all knew Mandalorian was going to take his helmet off. It was just a matter of what was he going to do after that happened. I like that he tried it with the helmet on, just because he just didn't believe that Bill Burr's character was telling the truth. Now, why wouldn't you just do it immediately? Like, yeah, you have to do it. Get her done, man. That thing's shutting down. Like, the officer's looking at you. And then again, okay, so the code is, code transmission is clear. But what? So now they have his face? Or did they have his face before? Like, what's the deal there? Like, why would you need facial recognition unless it's just scanning for unauthorized? Like, it lets anybody use it who hasn't ever been there before? Like, because now he's accessed the terminal, so now is his information in there? I like that he doesn't understand the Imperial, protocol. Tanab. I like that he looks like an Imperial officer. I'm going to have to find out who this guy is, Valen Hess, because he looks every bit an officer, an Imperial officer. But I'll tell you, he does not sound like one. He definitely doesn't look like one. Or he definitely looks like one. He doesn't sound like one for sure. You two managed to be the only transport crew to get in. It's a pretty crappy life if you're a stormtrooper, huh? Brown eyes. Ooh, there's writing on the scope. Operation Cinder and history of Star Wars. So that guy, Valen Hess, is Richard Brake, is his name? He was the guy in the Kingsman movies who offered to test who tested the recruits with the train. They tied them to the train track. He was the Night King. He was the one that in Batman Begins killed Bruce Wayne's parents too. He's been in a lot of stuff. He's good. And everything he's saying, of course, we know is true to the Empire. Just shoots him right in the chest. Oops. I love that look. I love that. There's like I don't know, the camaraderie shows Mandalorian there by letting him put back on the helmet and pretend and he never broke his oath. I mean, the blaster bolts taking a while to get there is pretty nice. Showing the travel. Boba Fett sitting ready to go, laying down basically in Slave One. She's a shock trooper, but why is she so good at being a sniper as well? Like shock troopers, they were drop troopers, you know, like they dropped in. Like why would she be good at necessarily a sniper unless she's just an average shot, perhaps? Slave One again. Just anytime I can see the old toys, the old ships, is a pleasure. And I wondered for a minute what they were gonna like. Apparently, Shand and Dune were just gonna have to get off the planet themselves. But I like the fact that they just kind of take off, but then re-land. You know, to pick up their friends. I mean, we do get a chase scene here with the X-Wings coming in. The hero of the X-Wings, the TIE Fighters, the hero TIE Fighters coming in. And I was really pleased to see the weapon used straight out of Attack of the Clones. And apparently the video game, my brother let me know, he said that's a charge that you can use in the video game as well. Just very cool. Shand and Dune being buddy, a rebel and a Imperial, ex-rebel, ex-Imperial. Some nice shooting back there. Nice shooting, Tex. I like that they let him go, even though, I mean, truth be told, the New Republic made tons of mistakes. This, you could consider this a slight mistake on Dune's part, but it makes sense. I mean, he did a lot more good for the rebellion there than he was in the prison camp. Rebels, I guess. I would say the Republic rather than the rebellion, because there's no more rebellion. It's the Republic. I like that we find out what his next move is later. And I like that she still kind of has a thing that she wants to... she thought, I think, in first season that he was dead already. And then they fought him, and they all thought he was dead after that. So I like that she's got a little, not a history, but Moff Gideon seeing the hollow transmission, the repeated lines from season 1 that he used in episode 7, I think. Giancarlo Esposito is just a good bad guy. I mean, I'm sure he probably doesn't like to always be the bad guy, but he's just so good at it. He's just got the face, the scowl. He's got that real angry look in his eye. Rick Famuyiwa directing. Great job. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, the double Fs. They are doing some great work. I don't know if you saw, but there's a lot of new shows coming out, including Ahsoka and Rangers of the New Republic. And both of those shows are going to also be headed by Favreau and Filoni. So, really looking forward to the season finale next week. I wish it wasn't the season finale, though. Just really enjoying what we're getting so far. Ludwig Göransson, I mean, the theme song is really becoming a favorite. It was not something I particularly enjoyed early in the show, but now I find myself humming it all the time. I love this concept art too. It's just never going to get old, I don't think. My brother and I both thought there's a shot now of Bill Burr's character jumping into the Slave One, and we both thought he was going to bite it. We both thought he was biting it there. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed the watch along. If you've been commenting while the watch along is going on, the way I have it set up, I can't actually see what you're commenting while I'm doing the show. So please don't think I'm ignoring you. It's just that I can't see it. If you're not, and you're watching this later on YouTube or in the watch along section of twitch.tv/This Is The Way Pod, then, you know, please send all your comments by email or Twitter or Instagram or something. At This Is The Way Pod on Twitter and Instagram, and This Is The Way Podcast at gmail.com for all your comments, and we will still be just reading anything we get, because we want that interaction with you guys, and we look forward to doing a lot more shows and a lot more watch alongs and things in the future as well. In the meantime, this is the way, and may the Force be with you always.